How you doing? Bobby Dirkens here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's preview of the Clemson at South Carolina rivalry, if you want to call it that, game coming up this Saturday. This is a beautiful night here in the upstate of South Carolina. 10 o'clock, okay, 10:05, Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. It's the time of year, listen to me, the time of year when people fight to dig dressing out of the butthole of the turkey very, very early. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you so much for joining me. A bunch of you in here. May there to you. Ben Mulligan, SEC Football Tube. Got some questions in here. Got Clemson Carson in here. I'm going to go in here. I'm just touching my phone. Jonathan Hall's in here. It says, you going to be with Pete? I don't know that Pete's going to be there. Hadn't told me. Bo Weevil, one of my favorite names in here. Tiger Nation, my brother from another mother. Good to see you. May there. It's good to see you. He says, let's feast, meaning they're chickens, we're tigers, let's eat. See you, Tiger 97 Miller's in here. May there. College football, that's it, really. May there to you. See you, Tiger Girl 95. May there to you. Oh, Lord, bunch of you in here. Jonathan Hall says Pete will be there, so I'll have to hit him up. I didn't know he was going. I'm gonna have to call him right now. I'm gonna have to hang up the phone. Clay Geiger says he's going to the game. Hit me up. I'll try to find you. I'll be the one in the fight. Cody Branch, good to see all of you. May there to you. Listen, I want to jump right in here to you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Very, very, very thankful for all of you in here. Giggled and Shat, he is in here. May there to you. I want to tell you this. It was 3 years ago this month that I did my first video. And it's 3 years. Actually, I think that the first time was, what was it? I think it was November the 3rd, November the 4th. I know I'm a little past that. But it's been 3 years for me. My first big video with Clemson, South Carolina. Clemson beat them 50-67. We won the national championship for the first time since 1981 then. So it was a big deal, big deal, big deal. I am going to the game. It's going to be a good time this coming week. It's kind of ironic. I went last year. Now I'm going to Columbia. So may there to all of you. It's going to be going down there. But this is a very special time for me because this is 3 years that I've been doing this thing. So, Nice Guy TV just gave me a $2 donation buying Bobby Dirkens a beer. And you know my cholesterol's out of whack, so I can't drink beer. But what I'm doing is I'm saving it up. I'm saving it up for the 4 months that the doctor told me that I better get my act together. And I'm going to invest it so I can buy even more beer. So thank you, Nice Guy. Y'all check out Nice Guy TV. One of you just subscribe to him. Go subscribe to him. Nice Guy. It sounds very like a nice guy. So thank you so much for support. But a big supporter of the channel. Thank you all for your support and so on. Also, last but not least, and I know we're almost 4 minutes in, I am going to tell you about a sponsor of the show. Sponsor of the show, the Sawmill Shop. I've talked about the Sawmill Shop a few times this year. And let me tell you something about the Sawmill Shop. Their owner, Eric McCartney, I would not trust him with the juice that accumulates at the bottom of a dumpster. But you give him wood. You give him some paint. It's a masterpiece. But he pulled together this beautiful piece here, gave it to me. I thought that was incredible. And then the other day, listen to me, I showed this to you. See how massive this thing is? I'm serious, it's bigger than a truck tire. I told him to turn it into a table. A coffee table, a beer table. If you got a UTI and you need to drink some cranberry juice, a cranberry table. That's one right there. But y'all go check out the Sawmill Shop. Yes, the Sawmill Shop here in Greenville, South Carolina. You can also find it, listen to me, you can find it on Etsy as well. I know you might feel a little sissy saying Etsy. Just don't say it, type it in, you'll be fine. Got another super chat in here, 5-minute mark. Brad Franklin, $2. My friend, I'm going to take that $2 bill, and you know where I'm going to put it? I'm going to put it in my underwear drawer, because nobody will ever look in there, except for moths, because they're hungry. But I'm going to put it in there, okay? I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to invest it. And when the doctor clears me from this cholesterol problem, which you say, which cholesterol? All of it. I'm going to drink it on you. Thank you, thank you, thank you there. Grafnar, thank you so much for being in here. We got Tyler Jackson in here. We got Tiger. We got a bunch of you in. George is in. George always shows up. Thank you, George. Sandra Raines, may there to you. Brad Franklin, thank you so much. Ashley Snell, it's good to see y'all. All right, so I'm jumping in here. I know it's 6 minutes in. Somebody who's sitting here watching this, Sean D in here. Good to see you. Big Curve Productions, that's Bailey. Bailey's a big supporter of the show. Thank you there. May there to you. This week, Clemson is a 27.5-point favorite over the Gamecocks. Yes, the Gamecocks. Now, in the preseason, everybody thought that maybe they would be okay. They'd be all right. I got on here and I gave you a prediction. I said that they would be 3-9 or 4-8, somewhere in there. I got all fired up. People told me how stupid I am. First of all, that's not the first time I've heard it, not the last, so get a new insult. But I called y'all are going to lose as many games as you've lost. Okay, I know you've had a tough schedule. I'll even give you that. I don't even have to give it to you. I'll just tell you. You've had a tough schedule. I get it. But you didn't have to lose to, like, I don't know, Missouri. Because Missouri has proved that they're a piss bucket. Go down to Georgia, which, by the way, that was really, really funny. And y'all beat them. With your third-string quarterback. Who Brian McClendon, your offensive coordinator, said, he asked him, so, Mr. Joyner, how many plays you feel comfortable with out of the playbook? 30? 20? Young DeCarrion Joyner said, 6. And that's how many plays y'all beat the Georgia Bulldogs with. And for that, believe it or not, even though I despise the living air you breathe, we're thankful for that. Now you've got to play a team who's a complete team. You're not the Georgia Bulldogs who has a really good defense, but your offense is suspect. You have a quarterback who is questionable. Cyclone Mystic says, go ahead and pick your dookie chicken, and you're right. Clemson Carson quotes, my great friend tailgating for Tigers, Bama baseball, SEC. We know that's all you know. This year you've been an embarrassment. Sandra Rain says, what do you think about Feaster? I'm going to get to that in just 1 second. If I forget, you remind me. Clemson 27.5 points. I'm just going to go over some stats for you, okay? Y'all know how I do this when I go over teams. Even though this is South Carolina, I'm still going to do it. I'm going to go over Trevor Lawrence's number, okay? Trevor Lawrence, 190 out of 279, 2,575 yards, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He hasn't thrown an interception in weeks. Bo Weevil says hit the like button for Bobby, everybody. Thank you so much, Bo Weevil. You're an encourager. Really good encourager. You seem legit, too. You don't seem like one of those kiss butts, you know? Sits there and puts on the, you know, lipstick and kisses people's tails. It's disgusting. I hate it. Ryan Holinsky, 220 out of 379, 2,252 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Let me tell you right now, Ryan Holinsky has my respect. I said that Holinsky kid looked good before the season started, heard good things about him, heard good things about his family, and you know, his family's went through a lot with what happened with his brother. All respect in the world there. Holinsky is a fighter. He is a fighter. His family's a fighter. All right? So all respect to them. Throw the rivalry out the window. All respect goes to his family. So he's very much a very talented young man. Y'all are lucky to have him. Clemson, Travis Etienne, 153 carries, 1,335 yards. Remember, he hasn't played a bunch this year because Clemson's been blowing out people. 1,335 yards, 14 touchdowns. Tavian Feaster. Now, listen, Tavian Feaster has 2 national championship rings because he played at Clemson. I did find it interesting that something was said about him, a comment that was made about him during one of the games about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I want y'all to listen to what he said. He said, I wanted opportunity and I wanted clear and honesty. So what's that a slap at? I mean, you said it. You said it in those roundabout words. Basically say Clemson lied to you and they didn't give you a shot. And I'm going to stop right here. Tiger Nation, my brother from another mother, just gave me $5 in the super chat. And y'all, I know some of y'all have stopped and said, why do you stop and do that? Why don't you? When people says that they believe in what you're doing so much that they donate to it, that's a big deal. So I'm willing to stop and say, thank you. Thank you so much, my buddy. And I hope you and your family Saturday will be the 129th year of inbreeding and being a punching bag for Clemson. You're actually right. And this will be 6 years in a row and number 27 in a row overall on our winning streak. You're right, 100%, my buddy. Thank you so much. He and I have been to many games together. We've had a lot of good times. He knows my phone number. He's one of the very few I gave my phone number. Very, very, very good friend of mine, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're good people. Tiger Nation up in Gaffney, South Carolina. Great people to know. Thank you, buddy. Going back to Feaster, listen to me. I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking him. I'm not going to knock Feaster. But I'm going to tell you right now, he could not help that a number 13, between number 13 and number 16 ranked running back comes in who was hungry. And that was Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne came a year in after Feaster got there. Seriously. Tavian Feaster was the number 1 recruit in the country. Came in. Etienne comes in and outplays him. Now, Feaster did well. Go back and look at his numbers. He was talking about touchdowns and wanting to get more of this, that, and the other. He's rushed this season for more yards than what he did last year. But do you know that right now, and I know this season's not over, they got to play Saturday, but he's been hurt. Do you realize he has 5 touchdowns right now? Last year he had 6. So, I hope the best for him, but if you think that you're going to get the Kelly Bryant treatment where I've been around here so long, so I'm just entitled to the job, and then God comes in as a true freshman, we wouldn't have won a national championship with Kelly Bryant last year. And I'm not dogging him, but that's the truth. If that was my son that was playing behind Trevor Lawrence, I'd have to look at him and tell Bobby Dirkens Jr., Bobby Dirkens Jr., I'm sorry, buddy, he beat you. That would be hard to say, but it's the truth. Etienne outperformed you. So don't talk about transparency and honesty and about this, that, and the other. Go out there and perform. Outperform him, you'll get reps like you wouldn't believe. And not in practice, in a game. Because that's what matters. Much of you in here got Sean D, Jesse Sullivan. T. Higgins, 40 receptions, 799 yards, 8 touchdowns. I'm speeding this thing up. I know I'm 15 minutes in. Brian Edwards, 71 receptions, 816 yards. He's been moved from doubtful to questionable. He had a scope on his knee. Between me and you, I don't know why. Take the rivalry out of it. I don't know why Brian Edwards would even bother playing this week. I'm sorry. I don't know why he would do it. I didn't get mad at Deebo Samuel for sitting out last year playing in the Doo-Doo Bowl up in Charlotte. There was no reason for him to play. He's in the NFL. He makes his money. He's fine. I'm going to quickly go over the stats. I'm going to talk about this. Clemson's averaging almost 46 points per game. South Carolina's averaging 24 points per game. Clemson's defense allowing 10.7 points per game. South Carolina's allowing 25. Clemson's total yards, 543 total yards with a split between 282 passing, 260 on the ground. South Carolina, 389. 232 in the air, 157 on the ground. Now, South Carolina's defense is a little better. Now, we'll go to Clemson's defense, 238 overall. Allowing only 128 in the air, 109 on the ground. South Carolina, 381, 227 in the air, 153 on the ground. South Carolina was off last week. Clemson was off last week. And when they played Texas A&M pulled those bloomers down and spanked them in the butt. Lost to upstate, beat Vandy. I know a group of blind people who could beat Vandy. That's no big deal. Lost to Tennessee. Lost to Florida. Did beat Georgia. That was funny. Still, I don't care if you are a Gamecock. That was funny. Speaking of blind people, I was thinking the other day, you know, they can't see who they're dating. And I got to feeling sorry for them, and I think I've created the perfect business opportunity. It's Braille to go across the forehead of people, of course, who's willing to wear it. Try to get some legislation passed that if somebody is blind and they're interested in you, you have to put this Braille across your forehead. Now, it could be offensive to some people. But you've heard that blind people, they'll actually touch each other's faces and try to figure out what you look like. I'm not blind, but I can understand it. But I think that puts them at a total disadvantage. Have they ever felt the face of the beautiful Adriana Lima from Victoria's Secret? I doubt it. And one day, this is my fear for them, one day, technology is going to come along to fix their eyesight. They've married, they've even procreated. Their eyesight's restored. They're in tears, ready to see their children and their wife. And they first see their children. They're crying. They're hugging them. I can't believe Daddy's finally getting to see you. And then their wife walks in. And all of a sudden, they have a realization that shakes the very who they are. They've married a toe. Not a towhead. A toe. With a toenail and all. I believe this Braille could be the answer to blind people know whether somebody's hot or not. Like, rub their finger over it, touch it. Better keep moving. You know, that to me, that is true compassion. All right, let's jump into this game. I want to tell you what I believe. I believe South Carolina's going to be psyched up. News come out of Columbia just in the past 24 hours that, you know, the last time Clemson went down there, Dabo ended up getting a flag because he lost his mind because the officials wouldn't throw a flag on the South Carolina team and their fans for throwing trash on the field. But they were more than willing to throw a flag on Dabo when he lost his mind that his players could be hurt by a beer. I remember that one beer, that long beer you saw come out of the stands, hit the ground and blow up, spraying everywhere. And then they complained, this come out this week, complained about how the Tigers, who locks their arms and walk all the way from midfield all the way down to the end zone. Well, it just happens to be when they're at Columbia, their side of the field, coming towards the student section. Well, one of their people in the media said, I believe it's Todd Ellis, said, yes, Sandra Raines, they antagonized it. Well, as they were walking down there, the student section got to losing their mind. Tigers are looking back at them, and remember, they're students too, as much of a lot of us don't like to think about it. It is the walk of champions. They're walking down through there. They got fired up. They got jawing at them. What South Carolina fans start doing in the student section? They start throwing crap everywhere. Everywhere. And then Ellis said, we're antagonizing it. Antagonizing it? I guess that's like if you're jogging through a dark neighborhood, through a neighborhood that's kind of dark, you know, it's dark around you, and you get murdered. It was your fault for jogging. Listen to me. Jogging through the neighborhood that the murderer just happened to be living in. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. According to his philosophy, yes. Next time you hear about a family getting hit by a drunk driver, it's their fault for their lights being maybe a little too bright, and it made that drunk idiot cross over and hit them. We're just going to keep using his philosophy. We're going to have some fun with this. According to his philosophy, the next time you and your wife goes out, your wife, she's dressed up, boy, she's looking good. It's going out there, and some jerk walks by and gropes her butt. It's your wife's, listen to me, it's your wife's fault for looking too good. That man is just a red-blooded American taxpayer who maybe you don't know what he's going through. Maybe his wife's cut him off. Have you ever thought about that? And your wife enticed him. Of course, his hands just had to reach over there and rub the curvation of her daddy hair. That's the biggest crock. I can't even say what I want to say about that. That's the dumbest stuff. He said last year, we're cycling out. And we went in and won the national championship. I'm telling you, it's one thing to do something about a rivalry. It's one thing to be about a rivalry. It's another thing to just keep screaming out stupidity like that. And I'm going to challenge South Carolina. I'm going to the game. I'm going to challenge South Carolina fans to this. Look, you know what? You can hate Clemson all you want to. Don't throw trash at our players. I mean, grow some class. We do that everywhere. Do you know we do that at every game? We play 11 games before y'all. We're going to play most likely this year 3 games after y'all, which will be conference championship, first round of the playoffs, and national championship, and win the darn thing. So I know that's the first time y'all see anything like that probably, but we do it every game. You know how much crap is thrown at us? Nothing. It's only y'all. Grow some class. So what I think is going to happen, I think they're going to come out fired up. They're fired up. Muschamp said it this week. He said, listen, he said they're bouncing around. They're happy. I believe they're going to come out. They are going to do their very best to try to upset us. Helinski is a talented young man. I don't care what jersey he lines up in. He's a very talented young man. Feaster's had some problems. We know he's talented. You know, I know he thinks we're a bunch of liars because we didn't start him over ETN no matter how he played. But we're not liars, and you're welcome for the 2 national championship rings that you got from us and not from this team that you lost more games in the season, probably by 2 or 3 times what you lost while you were at Clemson. You got better film in your first 3 years at Clemson than you did in this last year. But I believe they're going to come out, they're going to be jacked up. One thing that I saw last year when I was at the game was this thing. Clemson's secondary was not getting lined up fast enough. They wouldn't get lined up fast enough. South Carolina was smart. Snapped the ball fast. Snapped the ball fast, threw it to them. Threw 510 yards. Clemson's secondary, and I think this is the best that they've ever had. They do have to line up fast. They have to line up fast. If you don't think so, you watching the game. If you see, listen to me. If you see Clemson not getting lined up fast, especially in the secondary, don't be surprised if South Carolina doesn't take advantage of it. And they will. And Clemson will have to pull it together. I do agree with you, Luke Godwin. Venables has it fixed. I believe he does. I believe he's embarrassed by what happened last year. That's what they did. And that's what they're going to do. They have to do. It's like. Let me tell you right now. If you wanted 10 years ago, if you live in the upstate of South Carolina, surrounding areas, there was a place, and it's now gone bankrupt. They are no more. It's called Ryan's Steakhouse. Ryan's Steakhouse. How many people on here remembers Ryan's Steakhouse? I'm gonna give you a second. Tap it in there, say yeah, or hit the like button. You could go there and eat decent food. But let me tell you right now, if you wanted to kill tons of Christians and fat people, all you'd have to do is set off a bomb there on a Sunday and you're done. Okay? You would have more martyrs on your hands than the Romans could ever compare to. Somebody says still have one in Summerville. You know, they still got one up in Hendersonville, North Carolina. I could take you to it right now. Grease dropping out of my jaws. Somebody says I miss Po Folks. I used to have Po Folks over in Seneca. I used to go over there. Garrett Sanders in here, may there to you. Garrett Sanders, one of the smartest people I know. Dropping in $5 to the chat line for Bobby Dirkens, my friend. I will take that $5. I will accrue interest. And once I do, I will drink even more beer on you. Thank you so much, Garrett Sanders, my buddy. They're right there. I tell you all this all the time. That young man right there, he knows the statistics of college football. He can tell you what a team's going to do in the season. Very, very, very good at what he's doing. And I want to tell you this. I'm going to lock this down. I believe Venables has it fixed. Our offense is going to be a well-oiled machine tomorrow. I say tomorrow, but Saturday. We are going to tear them up, my friend. We are going to demolish them. We are going to deconstruct them. We are going to pull up everything we possibly can. And the worst score that we could possibly have is 45-10. So my base score is 45-10. I believe it. I believe we're going to open up a can on them, and we're going to drop a big old peanut-filled dookie all on them and ruin everything. Clemson wins this game. I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. People believe, Sandy Rain says, I believe Ohio State will lose to Michigan. It would get interesting if they lost. It would be interesting if Georgia Tech pulled an upset of a lifetime. I think Georgia Tech's going to play Georgia just a little better. I did not say they were going to upset them. I said I think Georgia Tech's going to play them a little better. Channel Life just dropped in $2 to me. Said, eat more chicken, Bobby. Go Tigers. Thank you so much, buddy. Sure do appreciate that. Appreciate you throwing in your lot and giving me some help here. Appreciate it tonight. Thank you so much for your support of the Bobby Dirkens Show. I got my Griswold family Christmas shirt on. I love this. I love that. Cousin Eddie's like, well, I have several family members like Cousin Eddie. But I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm going to tell you about this. I went and I got me a pecan pie the other day at Publix. There's a Publix right around the corner. I went and I got that thing. Let me tell you what happened. That woman, she had this look of desperation in her eyes. Reached across and she handed me that pecan pie. Tears started rolling down her face. She didn't even say this to me. And I saw it. All she has left in this life is that pecan pie. Her kids took her body. Her husband, ex-husband, took her dignity. And Publix is taking everything else. All she has is that pie. And I thanked her with a hearty handshake and an HR-approved side hug. That's right. So I hope all of y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Yes, I did get a haircut. Thank you very much. A couple of people are in here quoting National Lampoon Christmas. I'll leave you with my favorite statement, my favorite line off of there, and I'm going to go at the 30-minute mark. When Cousin Eddie asked Clark, standing in front of the Christmas tree with that beautiful dickie on, He said, "Clark, are you surprised?" And Clark looked at him while holding probably a jammed up, shook up thing of eggnog. He said, "Eddie, if I woke up tomorrow morning with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised." That's my favorite line in the whole thing. Listen to me. You keep showing up, I'll keep showing out. Happy Thanksgiving. Bobby Dirkens.